Hello. Welcome, everybody. Give everyone a little second to get in settled. Um, we are recording, so if anybody's jumping in late or has to jump off early, we will share the recording and the presentation afterwards. Hello, Lola. Yeah, use the chat, ask questions. We'll have some time for Q&A at the end. But welcome to our By Iris FAM Roundup. I'm Stephanie Piano. I'm the Trade Partnerships Manager and super excited to actually be the one who is not just like emceeing the webinars, because we've been hosting a lot of them with our clients, but actually to get to speak and present to everyone. And co-hosting with me is the fabulous Iris. So, Iris and I are going to be taking you through the fan experiences we've had with our clients in India, Mexico, Italy, and with Flytographer, our vacation photography services client. So, super excited to dive into it. Again, if you've got any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll be monitoring. We'll get to live Q&A at the end. But otherwise, settle in for a little ride around some of the countries that we've been jetting to all over for the past couple months. All right, so I'm going to kick things off with India. And so if you want to see where Taylor Swift stays when she's in Mumbai, then hold on because I will get to that. But I did want to share some fun facts that you may or may not know about India. So a little rapid fire, but it is the seventh largest country in the world and it's the most populated. And while Hindi is the most commonly spoken language there, they actually have 22 official languages, over 1,600 dialects, and it is one of the largest English-speaking countries. They have 44 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and the Taj Mahal, of course, is one of the seven wonders of the New World. It's the vegetarian capital of the world, the largest producer of spices and mangoes. It's the birthplace of yoga. Bollywood produces more films than Hollywood. It has wildlife far beyond elephants and tigers, and a diverse landscape from tropical beaches to one of the wettest places on earth to high altitudes. So it really has something to offer everyone. And I wanted to share a little bit about this because I know India can sometimes be a country where people are like, India's not for me. I don't know. And I really beg to differ because I do think that India has something for everyone. And it might just be about finding the right India for you or your clients. Because if they like food, architecture, activity, wildlife, culture, history, like India checks all those boxes. And while it can be, the chaotic, busy, loud that we've seen and heard, it's true, but it is also so peaceful. There's so much love, community, compassion, and phenomenal food. So it's a really great country to explore if you haven't had the chance to be there yet. Really excited to dive in and share about my time with Immerse India there. So I wanted to kick things off a little and introduce you to Immerse India. They are one of the DMCs that is part of the Hawkfield collection. So if you've sort of seen our updated portfolio from this year, they fall under that. And this is Ujwal. He is the founder and just a fabulous man. He has such a calm, like presence. Like it's so interesting, like just having like these really deep conversations with him. He knows the country so well. He's so well connected, and it really shows in the experience I had. So Immerse India, they cover all of India, Nepal, and Bhutan. So if you've got clients who want to do a little multi-country, those are great options to do some extensions throughout. They are headquartered in Delhi with a team of over 20, and their strengths, like phenomenal group trips. So that's like something that they really do super well. They've worked with some group trip operators and currently do. So that's something they're well versed for, as well as doing the tailor-made FIT clients. Cultural, slow travel, special interest, all with that sustainable thought. And then really they're known for fabulous, reliable on the ground connection. Um, India could be very complex, there's a lot going on. So just knowing for like your clients that there's really strong ground support is, a nice reassurance. They've got great local experts, really strong community links, and they're fast. They've got clear pricing, and so can't rave enough about the experience spending time with them. All right. So I wanted to set a little bit of the context because I was in India for a group trip with a bunch of women. And so we did the Golden Triangle together. That's not something I did with Immerse India, but I was there. I was there for Holi. I previously have been for Diwali. So I've experienced both of the big celebrations and pretty familiar with the Golden Triangle. And some of you might be as well. But what was great is I got to extend my time with Immerse India and go to Udaipur and Mumbai. So it was nice to have that extension to experience two new cities and a really nice sort of, I guess, visibility into some other areas outside of the Golden Triangle. And so excited to dive into that. So, with my extension, I spent a few nights in Udaipur. So, 2 nights, 1 day. It was pretty quick because I flew from Jaipur to Udaipur, about an hour flight, and didn't land till the evening. So then we did a little jam-packed day doing sites and hotel inspections, and then I flew out the next day. So I had 2 nights and almost 2 full days in Mumbai because I didn't fly out home until the end of my second day there. So, Udaipur, some of the highlights. This is a city that is known as the City of Lakes. It's sort of like the Venice of the East, if you will. It is really famous for its romantic setting. There are 6 lakes. And so it has this like really calm, like lush setting to the city. So during my stay there, I was at Oberoi, which is one of their flagship luxury properties, and did a private guided visit of the city palace and the Jagdish temple. Did some apparel and textile shopping where I spent far too much money, explored some local markets, and did some hotel site inspections. So I would say like this is a really strong um, city for romantic luxury clients, honeymooners, couples, if you will. So, a little insight into some of the hotel inspections. Stayed at the Oberoi. I was ready to unpack my bags and move in. Like, let me tell you, if I had to live there, I definitely would. It was absolutely stunning, like visually stunning. Like, it's one of those places where you don't want to leave the hotel. So, if you've got clients who are looking for a little like downtime and to just like relax and enjoy like fabulous amenities, they had great spa on site, like beautiful water features throughout. Like, it was like 5 star and beyond like experience. Best. Uh, we did 3 other site inspections. So we did Hotel Ram Pratap Palace. So this does have a 4 star rating. Honestly, I would say from a North American perspective, it's probably a little bit more 3 star. Like, it's clean, it's got like the essentials that you need. It just was lacking the amenities and wow factor. And so it's how it's kind of set up is like the hotel, there's like a little street that you cross, and then that's where there's a restaurant and a pool, and the pool's sort of like next to the restaurant. So it's some maybe like a little awkward of a setup, and then it's by a busier street. So I think if you have clients who are not as interested in the hotel experience, fabulous option. Um, but yeah, just know it's like doesn't have sort of that same amenities wow factor. There's no lounge, that kind of aspect. The Feta Nuwas was great experience. It's a newer build, but it's built heritage style, and it has this like there's all these like gardens and pools and sort of nooks. There's a hotel, restaurant, and pool on the top, and then also on like ground level, and they also have a spa, so they've got great amenities. It's a little bit more like luxurious and like private, sort of like big trees and gardens all around. And then the Trident, which is a sister brand to the Oberoi. This was, a phenomenal, like you're really close to the water, it's a 4 plus big venue. It's actually like a good venue for, there's a lot of like large wedding buyouts that happen at this venue. It definitely has a more contemporary, business family vibe to it. All right. So Udaipur, like I said, it's like the city of lakes, the Venice of the East. 2 to 3 nights is like ideal. That's all you really need there. You can like fit everything in. It's a quick flight from either Jaipur or Delhi. Again, it's like very lush. So you get like that real calming green aspect. And the population's only 600,000, which might also seem like a lot, but compared to the 20 to 30 million in some of the other cities, it's like a very quiet city. One cool experience that I wasn't able to do because of my timing, but if you have the extra night for a client, they can do a lake cruise around the Monsoon Palace at sunset. And so it's got this really like cool romantic vibe. That's the Monsoon Palace you see at the top of the hill where the royal families used to like dance in the rain, celebrating during the monsoon season. All right. Now, jumping over to Mumbai, took a quick flight there. And I went into Mumbai thinking, okay, this is the second biggest city. I'm going back to like a Delhi experience of like the chaos and the noise. And it was so different than what I expected. It definitely has like the energy. It's very metropolitan. It's known as like the city of dreams where people go to like make it kind of like the New York concept. And it's the Hollywood of India. So I stayed at the Trident at Nariman Point. I bounced around because it was just me. So I was like doing a lot of different quick sightseeing. Um, it was really cool to see some of those different experiences. Did one of the slum tours, which was way different than what I expected, and like highly recommend. We did it with a responsible tourism company, and the guide that we had actually lives in the slums. So we were getting firsthand experience and like very insightful, very different from what you've maybe seen or read, or it's like totally different than Slumdog Millionaire. Um, then did another day where we went from the Gateway of India, took a boat ride to Elephanta Caves, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, did some more site inspections. So the hotels in Mumbai, a little insight there. So I stayed at the Trident. The Oberoi is right next to it. Phenomenal. Like again, they have that sort of like contemporary versus the more like luxury experience you'd have from those different sister properties. But like you get these panoramic views of Marine Drive. For clients who want to be able to like walk, like the Marine Drive is like such a great walking path. You see people out there every day, so it's good if they want a little bit more flexibility. Um, Taj Mahal Palace, I think everyone, probably knows this if they've seen it or looked in India. This is where Taylor Swift stays. And I could see why, because I was doing like all the presidential suite room visits and again, dreamy. Um, the palace is definitely more like historic, opulent versus like the tower being more modern and contemporary. Both have great amenities. Both are a great location, and they're right across from the Gateway of India. And then I also stayed on my way out at the Aruca Mumbai airport, which honestly might have been, I don't know if there's like a nicer airport hotel. Like this was a 5-star experience. It's like big. It's got tons of amenities, huge restaurant, a great transfer service to the airport. So I think for clients who are like in and out, it's really great. Or if you've got cruise clients who are coming in and out of Mumbai, like that maybe don't want to be more downtown, like it's a really phenomenal option. And with Mumbai, some interesting things are, it's the second most Art Deco buildings globally. The sound is so different because there's street rules and cameras and traffic. The cars have to stay under a certain decibel level, otherwise the red lights will stay longer. So it is like no noise for how big the city is. It was so interesting. No rickshaws, no auto rickshaws are allowed downtown. So like that chaotic vibe is like totally taken out. Slum Tour, like again, couldn't rave about it more. It was so insightful and really challenged any misconceptions you might have. Um, India is also a big port city. So, we have a lot of cruisers, North America. So there's a lot of cruises going to Southeast Asia or South Africa. So, having Immerse India as a ground partner for pre or post cruise is a great option. And then there's also luxury trains, river cruising. So there's some other kind of unique ways to experience India. Um, and I'll kind of leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about some of the direct flights. We're going to share this slide. So you've got that, but I'm happy to answer any questions too that we can get to for India. Otherwise, I'm going to pass it over to you, Iris, for Mexico.
Amazing. Thank you, Steph. That was so interesting about India, like incentivizing people to not honk by making them wait longer. So smart. I keep looking over here because I have two screens, but I'm going to try and keep my focus on all of you. So, Mexico, all of you know Mexico. Let's be honest, it's one of the biggest destinations for travel advisors and for customers. But I want to talk to you about a different side of Mexico, the Oaxacan coast, the Pacific side of the country, which, if you look at a map, it's just under Puerto Vallarta. So, I mean, it's a 15-hour drive from that area to the Oaxacan coast. It's pretty far removed, but it shares the same coast and it's a totally different vibe. It's been really up and coming over the last few years. So I decided to spend a month there this past February and go and check it out. Next slide, Steph. Thanks. Actually, I'd love to hear from folks in the chat. Has anybody been to the Oaxaca region of Mexico before? I'll wait as I wait for answers to come in. I'll just introduce Sebastian from Rutopia. He's one of the co-founders of our DMC client based in Mexico City. They cover all of Mexico, so every region in Mexico. What makes them really unique is that they're a team of 10 plus, and like seven or eight of them are actually regional experts. So they have a different regional expert for each region of Mexico on their team that is assigned to get to know that region extremely well. So you have a lot of deep product development knowledge in this company because a lot of their time is spent looking at the product, developing new product, and wanting to stay on top of it, in addition to being a sales manager. So we don't have product as a separate department. It's actually integrated across the roles of all the regional sales managers, which is very interesting and a different model than most DMCs. Okay, Kelly says she hasn't been to Oaxaca yet. In Miami, Lola says in Miami, we sell a lot of Mexico, but haven't sold that particular city. To be honest, I don't know it very well. Perfect. You're in the right place. It's definitely up and coming. There are a lot of direct flights to Oaxaca. We'll get into that a little bit more over the next few slides. But first, I want to tell you about Rutopia. So they've been around since 2017. They combine local expertise with AI-powered operations. They're extremely efficient. They use AI to keep their salespeople focused on the important things, which is the relationships with all of you as their travel advisor partners. They make tailor-made FIT trips faster to build and easier to sell because they give you access to their online rate sheet with clear pricing, net pricing, or commissionable, whatever you'd like. And they have 24/7 ground support in Mexico. So they also have a team of folks that are responsible for your clients while they're on the ground. You'll get a WhatsApp group created with them and they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So for any of your clients that are a little bit worried about safety in Mexico, because that seems to be a big topic in the media, they're covered. One thing I want to tell you about Rutopia is that in 2019, they were awarded the HALT Prize, which is a prestigious prize for social entrepreneurship, granted by the United Nations and given to them by Bill Clinton. So Bill Clinton actually showed up to this ceremony and gave them this prize. And it's a really unique position for them to be in. They're one of the top choices for DMCs in Mexico because they don't book all inclusives and they do a lot with local communities. They create lots of off the beaten path experiences without losing comfort, and they don't focus on all inclusives. So if you're interested in all inclusives for Mexico, they're probably not your partner. But they will get your clients off the beaten path into some pretty cool places. They've been working with multi-day platforms like Kim Kim and Travelocal for I think about 5 years now, and they have so many wonderful 5-star reviews from those clients. So they're super well set up to be the best partner for you in market as a travel advisor. Lola asked, you should promote this destination in Miami. When are you coming? I'm actually going to be there in June. So let's get together. We'll follow up after this webinar with an email. And let's focus on Oaxaca highlights. So Oaxaca is really known for Pacific Coast beauty. It's surfing, a lot of surfing, not a lot of swimming. So you're actually not going to find a ton of families there because the swimming isn't super safe. we just don't recommend that people surf in or swim in these surfing areas because the tides are very, very strong. But the ocean is beautiful to look at and to go in up to your knees. You know what? That's safe enough. I did it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So they're also really well known for culture and then their cuisine, especially Oaxaca City. So what we're going to do in this presentation is focus really on the experiences I had in Oaxaca because these were the ones I did with Rutopia. Puerto Escondido and Mazunte were sort of my own personal vacations. We'll still touch on them, but I want to give you a visual here of what this area looks like. So this is the Oaxaca region. Your clients can fly directly into Oaxaca City. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. They can fly directly into Oaxaca City from, I believe, LA and maybe a couple of other airports with Volaris. And then Puerto Escondido has direct flights with Air Canada from different parts of Canada and the US. Um, so 2 weeks in Puerto, there's now a really easily connectable road to Oaxaca City. The drive used to take 8 hours. It now takes 3 hours from the coast inland or vice versa. And the road is great. We did that drive as well. And then Mazunte is where I stayed at a really beautiful hotel that I'm going to share with you guys in a couple of minutes. So the two experiences I did with Rutopia were the food and city tour. It was really comprehensive, 5 hours. And what I liked is that it combined culture with food. So you're not stuck on a 3 hour cultural tour where you're just walking around and just learning about the city. You're actually doing both. You're having lunch or dinner and you're experiencing different products. And they really mix up the stops depending on what time of day it is and what the clients are interested in. So for us, they did a taco stop, ice cream, and hot chocolate. Oaxaca's really well known for their chocolate and their tacos, of course. And Oaxacan cuisine is very regional specific and very unique. It's different from other parts of Mexico. And Oaxaca has, I don't even know how many Michelin stars they have, but they've got more than anywhere else in Mexico. They are the fastest growing, it is the fastest growing region for Rutopia. So they'll be focusing a lot of product development efforts over the next couple of years in those regions, which will serve you best as you get to know the region yourself as well. Then the next day we did a Oaxaca mezcaleria hopping, which as you can see here, I really enjoyed. It was a contrast of two very different experiences. So one of them was super casual, as you can see from the photo on the right. We were just in a bar where the locals hang out, and the owner of the bar came over and talked to us and kind of guided us through this same brand, different areas and regions of mezcal. So it was interesting to get the very distinct flavors of the different regions of Oaxaca based on where these mezcals came from. And then the second tasting, as you can see from the photo on the left, was a little bit more elevated. It was at a high-end mezcaleria where you could also purchase their own mezcal. They make it all in-house. It was really an interesting experience. So I think two mezcalerias are pretty much the max I would suggest because you do get, yeah, Steph's laughing. You get a good amount of mezcal in these. Next slide, please. So things to know about Oaxaca City. As I mentioned, the road has recently been redeveloped, shortening that connection time. But if your clients go between May and October, do not use that road because there are really bad landslides that can happen during rainy season. So fly instead. The flight's only an hour and a bit. Most mezcal palenques, which I didn't know, they're like wineries. They were on the outskirts of the city. You had to go and leave the city, drive 30 to 40 minutes outside to experience a mezcal palenque. So Rutopia would combine this as a day trip to Hierve del Agua, which is this stone waterfall. So those are actually rocks in that picture on the bottom. That's not water. It's super interesting. It's an hour and a half outside the city. A really great addition to the Oaxaca City itinerary. I really suggest planning a minimum of 5 days in Oaxaca City so that you can allow for day trips as well, because so many of the restaurants that serve traditional cuisine were 30 to 40 minutes outside of the city in the countryside in these beautiful, sprawling adobe buildings with like outdoor fireplaces where they cook the food. And they have Michelin stars as well. It's not just within the city that you can find Michelin starred restaurants. So I would give your clients about 5 days to allow for day trips outside of the city. So and on to the next slide with our hotels. So these were all just places I stayed on my vacation, except for Ania. So I'm just gonna give you my personal perspective. La Valise Mazunte was by far the most incredible value for money. It was around 300 to 400 US per night, depending on the room that you chose. And it's in Mazunte, so like about an hour outside of Puerto Escondido on a cliffside with a private beach, only 11 rooms. The food and beverage was so unbelievably good that you just don't leave that hotel. So you can almost consider it as an all-inclusive experience, even though it is not. It's really remote and isolated and quiet and beautiful. The only caveat here is even though they have this amazing private beach, you can't swim on that beach because of the current. It's incredibly strong. I wouldn't even go in. I would put your feet in and kind of max out at that. So it's great to look at, but they have a little setup with a saltwater infinity pool on the beach where they pull water from the ocean. So you're basically getting the same experience. It's gorgeous. They have a great GM from the Yucatan area who's worked in tourism for 15 years. We had a really great long chat, and he's really whipped that place into shape because La Valise has launched, I think, about 5 years ago, and now has eight hotels across Mexico. So their growth has been quite quick. So he's really dialed into making this hotel amazing for guests. Um, Not great for people with mobility issues because they're about 200 stairs up and down to the beach. Casayati is the sister property to La Valise. It's directly on the beach, so it's a lot buggier. And again, swimming is actually a bit safer on this beach, but it's still not recommended. Um, I have to say that because like I don't want to be sued if one of you goes into the water and dies. But you can do it. Like you can swim on Casayati. La Valise, absolutely not. Casayati, it's not advisable, but you can do it. It's a totally different vibe from La Valise, even though it has the same number of rooms. It's more connected to the community and like people that are staying in that area, in that town. La Valise is very, very isolated. And then Enia, I didn't stay here, but this is a place in Puerto Escondido. It's one of two five-star hotels in La Punta, which is kind of like the fun, I would say more hippie area of Puerto Escondido, like dirt roads, lots of amazing bars and restaurants, very chill. Everyone's walking around in their bathing suits. It's not for everybody, but it's a really great vibe for younger folks. Ania and Hotel Humano are the two options in Puerto Escondido. And Ania has this very quiet Zen-like vibe. It's like 5 minute walk into town, but located in basically like you don't feel like you're in a city at all. And it's only a 5 minute walk from the beach and really gorgeous rooms. Okay, so that's Mexico, Oaxaca in a nutshell. And I'll pass it over back to Steph for Italy.
Perfect. We have a question. Do you want to jump into that before we move to Italy?
Oh, yes, I see it here. Other than Spanish, how does an English speaking client handle communicating with the locals? Um, Depending on who the locals are, if they're working at the hotels, almost all of them can speak English in Oaxaca. Less people speak English in Oaxaca than in the Yucatan Peninsula or Mexico City or other parts of Mexico that are a bit more touristy. But I did find that almost everyone could communicate and could speak English. And if you're booking any experiences with Rutopia, all of their guides are English speaking. And you can share that with them if that's a limitation. If they only want to speak English and they don't understand any Spanish, Rutopia will be able to put you in touch with the right properties and the right guides that can handle that. Great question.
Yeah, perfect. All right, let's jump into Italy. So we know Italy, it's a number one top selling destination. So we're going to talk a little bit more about our experience there and our time with Top Travel Italy versus like the things we did. Um, because I'm sure almost everybody in this group has probably been to Italy at some point or has sent clients. Iris and I just got back, I guess about a month ago. We spent a week with our phenomenal clients, Top Travel Italy. And this is Lara. She's the CEO and co-founder. So that was snapped from our time in the Amalfi Coast. So Top Travel Italy, they are a women-owned team of 20. They're based in Rome and they cover all of Italy, Sicily, and Sardinia. They are fabulous for FIT clients. That is like definitely where they shine. They have next level guest support, all the pre-travel personalization, and then the assistance from their in-country team. They are experts in off the beaten path. That is really where they love to shine. They really love to bring that true Italian experience and give a little bit more like voice to the community, to people's voices, to the stories. And we saw that through the connection of like the local partners and guides that they work with. They do multi-regions really well. So if you do have clients who, want to bounce around, hit up Sicily or Sardinia and do different parts of the region, it's nice to have a seamless contact across all of it. And they're really detailed, 24-hour response time, really flexible that way. One of the things that they're known for that we really want to highlight that is really unique to them, we had great conversations around this, is that they are a DMC that will tell you no. And that's in like the best possible way we mean. Like when they're saying no to you, it is because they're trying to get you to your client's yes. They there's so much intricacy that they know that when they're when they're like suggesting something different or they're saying like this isn't going to work for this reason, I, honestly, like really trust them in it because and get curious and ask them about it because like they will talk to you about that and really lean into it and it's all for like the best in the long term and it's where clients that are going to be end up being so much happier. So sometimes we come into an itinerary with ideas of what we want, or the clients, of course. And so they'll really push back. I think, Iris could probably talk to this when we talk about Amalfi, especially with like the hotels and the locations. And again, like that's something that really that pushback is really in like the best way possible. All right, Iris, you're going to take them through the team.
Oh, yeah. So we got to meet the team at the office in Rome, which is located in one of the quieter neighborhoods of Rome. It was such a special experience meeting the team. And I'm saying this in a way to like assure you as travel advisors that you are in amazing hands. Their team is so on top of things. Like we got to see how they work, we got to see how they interact with each other, we got to see some live bookings happening. Just the way, the trust that they have within the team, the way that they handle any issues with travel advisors or clients or anything. Like this was the first visit we had to their office since we started working together last year, and it just really instilled us with the confidence to rep them really well in North America. Not to mention they bribed us with tiramisu to say all of this. So it worked well. And in this photo, you'll see Maria Chiara on the second from the right. She's the director of sales, and then Valeria is the sales manager. So you'll be chatting with some of them if you send some requests our way. Back to you, Steph.
All right. So we'll share a little bit about what we did. We kicked it off in Rome with the team. We had 3 nights there, 2 days. We did a private Dolce Vita styling session, which was an absolute hoot. We'll share a bit more about. We did a private guided tour of the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, wandered the streets, did, the alleyways and all the food and drinks. It's a good thing we were doing a lot of walking because we were also eating and drinking nonstop. And then we spent time with the team in the office, of course. Then we did a little Amalfi Coast excursion. We had 3 nights, 3 days there. We took the train from Rome to Naples, stayed in Sorrento. We had a private guide with Pompeii's hidden treasures and did a family-run winery. We had a phenomenal cooking class, uh, Positano tour, lemon groves, limoncello, and then a Naples city tour. So we jam-packed a lot into a few days to really experience the different cities and regions. So some of the Rome highlights and really that we got to see with working with Top Travel Italy, and of course, like getting a little bit more of the insights because they're our client, we're not just an FIT client, is really the exceptional guiding. So we actually got to spend time with the guide who owns the company that they work with. And so getting that like insights and expertise of like the longevity of that relationship that they have together was like super cool, just gives a lot of confidence in like how they're treating all of the clients at the ground level. We definitely saw all their strong roots, like being based there and having the team that's not only based in Rome, but they also go and do site visits all over every year. Like they're constantly, the team is traveling and like really experiencing something, and they're only ever recommending something that they've tried or that they know from their partners have like come highly recommended. They always will test something, within like a couple months of using it. If it's been recommended, they haven't experienced it yet. So that's really cool to know that that kind of ties back to like, the no's that they're giving you to the yeses is like they've experienced it themselves. They've done it. Like they do know all the product very well. And that like deep roots showed through even in like hard to get reservations, like the rooftop reservation we got at sunset, which is normally always booked up. You wouldn't even know to like navigate this if you were just like showing up on your own. So that was really cool. And, again, all these things were just like happening seamlessly behind the scenes. Like they'd be adjusting things in the background that we didn't even know about. Like they would share it after the fact, when we're like laughing, over some wine at dinner. But like they were just making things happen all the time. And so that's kind of what you're getting for your clients is like these adjustments that are like seamlessly happening quietly behind the scenes, like where things are needed. We did want to share a little bit about the Dolce Vita experience. This is us all dressed up. It was a cool experience because it was new. So we are all testing it together. And we did it with Laura and Valeria. And so this was like, it's meant to be this very like fun, lighthearted, like cinematic Italian styling session where you go, you get like dressed up, get like the accessories all done. And then you actually go and like walk through the city. We went to a market, we stopped for coffee. So it's less traditional sightseeing and more about like the actual, just like the vibe and, the amount of heads turning. Like I'm sure people thought we were celebrities walking the streets. And it was just for the right client, it's such a fun experience. And, the photos you're getting, it just like was very like cool to experience that. All right, kick it over to the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dolce Vita experience was really funny. And thank you, Marina, that we both look amazing. I was like, I'm normally 6 feet tall, and in these heels, I was 6'3". It was hilarious. People were definitely looking at me, being like, is she a giant or is she a celebrity? We're not sure. All of the above. But yeah, it was one of those things that not everybody offers, and it's a really cool way to see the city. And you can add a professional photography package on top of it so that your clients have incredible pictures of the whole experience. So yeah, it was super fun. They even stopped us at a Vespa, like a little Vespa setup where we could take pictures on the Vespa, like Sophia Loren. It was a vibe. It was so fun. So Amalfi Coast highlights. Obviously, you are all experienced agents on here. You've sold Amalfi. Everyone goes to Amalfi. I just want to stress that the way Top Travel Italy does Amalfi is a really thoughtful way in the way that they organize the itineraries, like being efficient as possible with time, building in rest days. This is why they say no to get you to your clients yes, because clients often want to pack itineraries to the brim with activities. And in all the data they have over 10 years of running this company, like 90% of people will cancel at least one activity during their trip. So they're like, we are not packing itineraries anymore just because the clients want it. They don't understand how tired they're going to be after doing like a Pompeii archaeological tour and then something else and something else and something else. Like we really try to, because your clients aren't going to get their money back. So we're trying to save them money. We're trying to make you look good to your clients as well, that you know the ins and outs of how their itinerary should be to maximize their rest because they're on vacation. They're not on a fam like us. We're okay to pack in like 10 activities a day, but it's work. So yeah, they're just very thoughtful about that. We also had the same guide the whole time on the Amalfi Coast. It was a husband-wife team. The wife was the guide. She's also an archaeological guide at Pompeii, so she's an archaeologist. And her husband, who was the driver. So it was an amazing, like family-run logistical experience. Super cool. You could just tell how close Laura is with that company and how they'll do anything for her because she sends them a lot of business. So it was a really, really nice experience. Limoncello experience. We went to a family-owned organic lemon grove. We learned that they actually, whatever they don't use from the lemons, they send to the local bakery, and that's what the bakery creates lemon cakes with. So it's like a fully regenerative cycle model, which we loved. And the experience for us was actually picking lemons, making lemonade, and then exploring the limoncello production, which they do by hand. So that was a very cool experience. One thing we learned about Positano is it's very logistically complex and it's for a specific type of clientele. Laura went on for 20 minutes about how complicated it is to actually stay in Positano. So these are the kinds of insights and knowledge that you need if you've never been to this part of the world, to understand. Like people would rather stay in Sorrento than in Positano in most cases because Positano is basically a vertical city like this. And you have to walk up and down these narrow streets with cars, etc. Steph, you just unmuted. Is there anything in the chat?
Nope,
No.
all good.
Okay. Um, yes, thank you for pointing that out. So Top Travel Italy won't book any reservations where credit cards are required unless clients are really clear that they want it because clients are always canceling. And then we did a cooking class in Sorrento, which was so epic. Can you go to the next slide? This was Laura and Stephanie and I at the cooking class in the top photo. Bottom photo is actually a picture, bottom in the center is a picture of the cooking center in the summer. What they do is it's all outdoors. They have an outdoor kitchen and then you eat outdoors with that view. Like that's better than you can get at some Michelin star restaurants. So that was a really cool experience. It was March, so we didn't sit outside, but we snapped this picture. On the left is Steph and I at the limoncello grove, and then top right is Positano. Top right and bottom right are pictures of us in Positano enjoying a very cultural moment with our espressos and sfogliatelle. We learned all about the pastries. Yeah, so that's the Amalfi.
Yeah, that was great. And Iris and I both came home with a little lemon. I've got a hat. She's got her scrunchie on her hand there. So we we took some of the lemon memorabilia home with us, as you do when you visit Italy.
It's got to have the
Oh,
lemon merch. Okay,
yeah.
Flytographer.
Wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up. Let us know if you have any questions about Italy in the chat. But we'll move on to Flytographer. So they're one of our newest clients. They're women-owned, Canadian-owned, and have been in operation for 13 years. They are a vacation photography company, and they work with a couple of host agencies in the US already, Montecito Village Travel and Cadence. And then we're working on establishing relationships with some other host agencies like Coastline. And I know maybe some of you on here are with Coastline. So we'd be very interested to chat because it also involves you getting professional headshots done for free. We know Fora is covering their agents in different cities to get these headshots done for free as well. So yeah, it's a fun partnership experience. So we'll tell you a little bit about what Flytographer is and how they connect travelers to local photographers around the world. Basically, they personally vet every photographer on their website, which means over 350 photographers. Many of them have multiple photographers in each destination. And all the heavy hitters, like every city in Italy, Paris, New York, like all of the main destinations, plus a lot of fringe destinations as well. So definitely take a look on their site and see which ones you might be interested in. They have over 100,000, they have over 50,000 five-star reviews since 2013. And as I mentioned, they handpick only the top photographer applications and interview each one of them. So it's not like a marketplace where anybody can post. They really do take the time to interview. They have annual summits with all of their photographers that they meet in person, get together, and host them on a trip. So it's a really beautiful way to do business. It's not your typical marketplace. Um, as Stephanie mentioned, less than 3% of photographer applicants are accepted. So this is great. Like it's think about clients that are already investing in traveling. They want memories. They're taking pictures either way, and why not do something that fits seamlessly into their vacation, whatever time of day or not whatever time of day. It has to be golden hour, but any day of their trip, they can book this in. You can book this in and earn commission. Um, this like especially for those emotionally centered trips like honeymoons or like multi-generational travel, it's such a great way to document your experience. Also great for a work trip. Here's Stephanie and I in what looks like an engagement photo shoot, but we loved it. It was so fun. We got headshots done for our website in Rome. And I'll tell you a little bit about our experience in Rome as well. So we did it at golden hour in the morning around 8 a.m., I believe. We met Roberta, who's the number one photographer in Rome. She has the most positive reviews on the website in Rome. It was such a great experience. It was like one of the highlights of the trip. It didn't feel staged or forced. It just felt like exploring the city with a local who happened to be capturing beautiful pictures of us along the way. It just felt very like we were at one of the most iconic sites here in the Forum, just taking pictures for our website. Like it felt like, yeah, part guided walk, part photo shoot. She makes it all really natural. So for your clients that feel, oh, I don't want to be in pictures, I don't want to be in a photo shoot, it's not like a formal staged photo shoot. It's very natural. And the photographers are very good at guiding your clients and making them feel comfortable. All right, over to you, Steph.
Okay, perfect. Um, it paused my screen somehow, and I'm not sure how to unpause it. Sorry.
That's okay. I can share my screen.
Oh,
Uh,
resume. Maybe
oh,
that.
okay, great.
Can you see?
I still see golden hour magic in Rome.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to share. Let me
Okay.
see. Uh, Here we are. Just want to go into presenter view. Okay, can you see my screen?
Perfect. Yeah. Just flip it to the next one. Who knows what happened there? So yeah, continuing with our flytographers. So, we really think about this as like it really is an experience that sometimes your clients might not even know that they need or want. I would be, shocked if anybody here or any of their clients have ever gone on a vacation and taken no photos. Um, but what I wouldn't be shocked about is how many clients go and come back with like too many selfies, or they've like passed their phone to a stranger and it's like blurry and cut off. And, we also know for the family travelers, it's usually like the parent, there's usually mom or somebody who's like stuck taking all the photos and then misses out on it. And so what's really cool about this is like it gives clients a chance to just be fully present and to like capture these memories, but also like still explore, walk around, like tour the little area that they're with. And because all the photographers are local, they get these like interesting insights like, this is like the our everyone's favorite cafe here, or like, have you been to this spot? And so like along with like these no awkward selfies or missed moments, it's like they also get these really quick turnarounds. So the photos are edited and delivered to them within 5 days. So if your clients have their photo shoot done early on in the trip, like they'll still be on their trip when their photos are delivered, which is really exciting. So it makes everything really like stress free for them. They don't have to find somebody. It's all really like well handled.
And as a little bit of insight here, we recommend front loading the trip with a photo shoot because their clothes are going to be fresh, they're going to be feeling good. By the end of the trip, maybe people are like, I'm ready to get home. Like I'm not as immersed in what I'm doing. So just a little insider tip.
Yeah. The other thing we love about this is it's easy wins for you as well as your clients. So some of the reasons that advisors love working with Flytographer is that it is easy to book. It is a streamlined platform. It's a really quick, low effort for you. Um, you actually can book the photographer for your clients and build it into their itinerary, or you can share an affiliate link. And on either option, you're still earning your commission. So both ways. The photographers are consistent, they're vetted, they're reliable. Like we said, less than 3% are brought on. It isn't just like a marketplace of any photographers. So there's this like trust with everybody. Photographer handles everything. And you really get this like extra value add. So it's a really nice extra touch point that really deepens that loyalty with your client. It offers something really high impact and like that added emotional layer for your clients who, really walk away with something memorable that they can decide to print or they can share with family afterwards and friends. So, yeah, some of the reasons that we love it. And that's it. Thank you so much. We've got lots of time still. So if anybody has questions, please jump in, throw it in the chat, take yourself off mute. We'll hang out and answer anything we can while we're here for another few minutes.
Any thoughts? Has anyone used Flytographer before? No, eh? I think they're doing a promo right now. They're actually going to be doing a promo starting in May, and then they're doing a webinar with the founder. We're hosting a webinar with the founder in May as well. So if you're interested in this, definitely join. And Marina says, love the affiliate link option. Yeah, it's so great because you just send it to their client, your client, they do everything. Like you don't need to handle their booking at all, but
Yeah.
you still get the
Another
same amount of commission.
another great thing with the affiliate link too is that you can actually go and ask to have like a branded page so that your affiliate link takes clients to this branded page with your agency or your company name. And so it's really customized looking um, and great. So we've actually seen some other agencies or advisors who do use affiliate links, like travel insurance is a common one. If they have a place on their website or on their Instagram, like link in bio kind of things, they'll share them there.
Awesome. Just looking at the chat. Thank you all for joining and for the appreciation. There will be a recording. We're going to send it out after this. We'll also send links to all of the clients we talked about. Um, and Steph is your main contact. She's our trade partnerships manager. She's your gal in North America. But if you are in Toronto, I will be happy to meet you for a coffee. If you're in Vancouver, that's where Steph is based, and we can set something up there. But Lola, I'll be seeing you in Miami next month, which is exciting. And yeah, please just feel free to stay in touch with us. We'll be doing webinars every 2 to 3 weeks for the remainder of the year. So yeah, all of you are on our mailing list. So please look out in your inbox for anything coming up. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Steph, for leading this.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Ciao.